back a day with this start. Had some back spasms, little weightlifting session earlier this week, which I know you've experienced a lot in your career, Blake.
Yeah, that's what happens when you try to lift the house, man. But glad that he's feeling better.
What is important for Kyson Weatherspoon in a start like this?
He's a guy that's just got to be himself. He's got really good stuff to get guys out, just locating. When you get in an amped-up situation like this with a packed house, you try to make the slider a little bit better. Just pitch to a good location to keep guys off balance.
You know the competitiveness of this Vanderbilt program built by Tim Corbin. They're not going to let last night slide lightly. It took all the way to the 18th game this season before Vanderbilt lost a game by more than 2 runs. Last night, 9-4 defeat. And here is the lineup that they'll send out today. Jacob Humphrey back up in the leadoff spot. Then Riley Nelson, R.J. Austin, and Brody Johnston. Jonathan Vastine has been on a tear. Jaden Davis DHing. Then Mac Rose was kind of a late insertion into the starting lineup. Brayton Holcomb did not play last night, and Rustin Rigby will be the second baseman. He played left field last night. Jacob Humphrey, game number 1, solo home run in the 7th inning, as Vanderbilt made that a 1-run game before Oklahoma separated once again. And Jacob Humphrey was able to do this, extending his hitting streak to 6 games. That one blasted to the opposite field. Blake.
Yeah, he really did a good job keeping the hands tight on that Jamie hit fastball up to 93. Just clipped it.
And here's Humphrey set to lead things off. Had that hit last night. Then Nelson and R.J. Austin for the Commodores. So Kyson Weatherspoon, he's been the regular Friday night guy for Oklahoma, preseason All-American. His brother Malachi will start tomorrow's game for the Sooners. This guy has been as advertised for Oklahoma this year. 68 strikeouts, only 11 walks. He's gone at least 5 innings in 7 of his 8 starts. Last week against LSU, 6 innings, 6 hits, gave up a couple of earned runs. Just kind of business as usual for Kyson Weatherspoon.
That's just who he's been, right? He's a #1 ranked pitching prospect for a reason. A guy that's got electric stuff. The fastball's up to 98 at times and carries that velo through a game. He's got a wipeout slider, can mix in a changeup to lefties. And I really like that cream glove with the blank webbing. It's a good look.
It is a nice fashion accompaniment, you might say, for Kyson Weatherspoon. Here's Jacob Humphrey looking to extend his hitting streak to 7 games. Beautiful, bright, sunny Saturday afternoon, and we are underway. First pitch swinging. This one is popped up on the infield. Shading his eyes is the second baseman, Kyle Branch. 4 o'clock start is kind of an interesting start time, in all honesty, and the sun is still pretty high in the sky on a Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m. Look at the Commodores over there, and a near sold-out capacity crowd at L. Dale Mitchell Park here in Norman. Riley Nelson, the first baseman, is in. Was 0 for 4 last night. Had a great series last weekend with Vanderbilt sweeping the Florida Gators. 5 hits, 3 runs driven in that series. Weatherspoon misses inside. What makes Kyson Weatherspoon's stuff so elite?
He's got really good extension out front. That fastball kind of plays up, and with velo at 98, your misses can be a lot bigger, right? When you got high velo and good breaking ball to go back behind it, he can really make less mistakes with velo.
Nelson shoots this one into center field. Jason Walk retreats. Walk made a spectacular play in the late innings of last night's game. In fact, Oklahoma made a couple. Jackson Willits on a ground ball up the middle. And Jason Walk going back, as good as a play as you will ever see at the collegiate level, really at any level last night.
And it was kind of a bad read too, because the ball kind of backed up on it to his left. He had to kind of awkwardly turn to make that play. Man, making the top 10, you always love it. Seemed like up the middle last night, the Sooners had really good defensive plays.
And here's R.J. Austin, who was the victim of that very good play by Jackson Willits in the 5th inning. Vanderbilt had a scoring opportunity, could have gotten the game a little bit closer at that point. Austin was 1 for 4 of the runs scored last night. Preseason second team all SEC selection. 1-1 to count to him.
It's a good slider at 89 right there to keep him off balance.
81 hits, 54 runs driven in, 28 stolen bases last year. And he is second in the SEC in stolen bases. This one is popped up. Wind is going to help push that one foul just a little bit. Oklahoma third baseman Dawson Willis over to watch that one blow on out of play. There you see the flags. 24 miles per hour out of the south-southeast. So that's blowing toward the left field corner, if you will. I don't know what feels like temperature is. I don't know how that works, but I know it's 80 degrees and it's beautiful.
It's a gorgeous day.
So Witherspoon misses a little bit up, I'm guessing, with that pitch.
Yeah, it's a slider. I think he wanted it, maybe a ball out.
Crowd into this one early on. And a bouncing ball. Willits on the move. What a play by the Sooner shortstop once again. Jackson Willits showing off his range and his arm to close the first. No score, and Oklahoma coming to the plate for the first time. 18 hits for Oklahoma in last night's game. Switched the lineup a little bit last night. They batted Trey Gamble in the leadoff spot. Today, Jason Walk is back up there. He batted fifth in last night's game, was 3 for 5, had the 2-run triple in the first inning that got Oklahoma jump started, had a double later in the game, and he was spectacular out in the outfield in last night's game as well. Jason Walk back at the top of the order today.
As well as on the base pass, right? You remember that the 2 bases he took on the wild pitch really affected him, put himself in the game all night long last night.
And this is that play that helped close things for Oklahoma.
Just a good route. Really athletic play there at the end. Had to get to full extension at the top. If he doesn't make that play, it's a triple.
On the mound is Cody Bowker, the right-hander for the Commodores today. He is a junior. He is from Maine, and he played with Jacob Humphrey back in their youth playing days. Was an outfielder who has transitioned to pitching in college. Spent a couple of seasons at Georgetown before arriving in the Vanderbilt program in Nashville this year. But a 2.68 ERA. What's the scouting report on Cody Bowker?
In my opinion, I think he's the better of the 3 starters for the Commodores. The fastball's 91 to 93. Everything plays up. He's got really good extension from that high 3/4 slot. Throws a cutter that moves like a slider at 86 to 88. He relies on that to lefties. Sweeper, change up to lefties. This is going to be a good arm and a good test for the Sooner offense.
So Jason Walk set to stand in after that 3-hit night last night. He said he just stayed to his approach, been scuffling a little bit recently, and he said he had to let it go. He's hit by pitch to start this game. Well, that's an inauspicious beginning. You remember last night, J.D. Thompson, the Vanderbilt starter, walked 4 batters in the first inning, and that helped Oklahoma to that big start.
Yeah, kind of an inauspicious there for J.D. Thompson. Handled it well. Settled in nicely after that inning and was able to get all the way to the 6th, even though he didn't have his best stuff. Really saved the bullpen coming into the weekend.
So we'll see how Bowker deals with the speed of Jason Walk over at first base. Here's Trey Gamble showing bunt. Trey Gamble off to a very good start. He's from Alpine, Utah. Missed a little bit of time with the lower leg injury suffered in the South Carolina series. But a 509 on base averages, 5th in the SEC.
This is the guy that handles the zone well. He's got 28 walks on the year compared to 11 strikeouts. Guy that Skip Johnson really likes in that 2-hole.
Walk is 10 out of 15 in the stolen base department this year. And Gamble shoots this one past the third baseman Johnston. Out into the left field foul area. Walk ventures to third. He will get the stop sign there. So it's a hit by pitch by Walk, and then a double by Trey Gamble in Oklahoma with runners at second and third to start this game.
It's a good piece of hitting right here. Gets a fastball middle in, kind of inside outs it. Brody Johnson playing 3 steps off the bag, has no time to make that play.
It is double number 7 for Trey Gamble, and a big chance here for the Oklahoma All-American catcher Easton Carmichael. Carmichael 1 for 4 in last night's game. Did score a run. Bowker back with a strike. Carmichael was third-team All-American and first-team All-Big 12 last year. The junior from Prosper, Texas. Plate umpire Joseph Smith saying that one was a little bit outside. Brandon Cooper is the first base umpire. Vic Carroll is at second base, and Eddie Newsom is our third base umpire. One and two the count.
It's a good fastball in by Bowker to set the tone to get the 1-2. Can really go to anything here to get this out.
Two balls, two strikes now to Easton Carmichael. He has settled in catching regularly every day. Scott Mutler was doing some catching, but now it is pretty much Carmichael behind the dish for the Sooners every day. .30 runs batted in, tied for the Sooner team lead, and sprays this one foul out of play over the first base side.
And I think his defensive ability was being in question last year, being able to catch velo, but he's done a nice job working in the offseason and be able to handle that more. And I think it's just reps for him. He's a guy that really loves the process of the game, stays in his routines, and he's done a nice job.
Full count with first base open, nobody out. Oklahoma had that big 4-run first inning. Just makes it so much easier on your starting pitching. And it was good starting pitching from Kate Crossland last night. The left-hander, the junior. Carmichael spoils this one. Kate Crossland, 103 pitches, 5 2/3 innings for Oklahoma. And he said he tried a slider for the first time in that game last night. On this stage in the middle of SEC play, threw a slider for the first time.
Yeah, I talked to him in the bullpen before the game. Said they introduced it this week and tried it out. Said he looked pretty good. The velo was up to 96 as well. I think he was feeling it. Something about that Friday night start, right?
The lights shine brightly as Carmichael smashes this one into left center field. This ball is gone. Easton Carmichael launches a 3-run first inning home run, and with nobody out, Oklahoma has a 3-0 lead in game 2 of the series.
This is just a professional at bat by Easton Carmichael. Gets down 1-2 early. Think he's out of it. Fouls off some tough pitches. Then gets a cutter over the middle of the plate. Look at this. Boom. Short through it. Long through it, baby. Good swing.
So for Easton Carmichael, now a team leading 33 runs driven in for Oklahoma. That's his 7th home run of the year. Only Jackson Willits with 9 home runs has more. And nobody out in the first inning. Looks a lot like a repeat of last night when Oklahoma got 4 in the first. And here's Jackson Willits, who homered last night in the 7th inning. It was a 1-run game, and he made some real difference-making plays. The defensive play to throw out the very speedy R.J. Austin, and then the home run. It was a 1-run game in the 7th inning when he hit his home run.
Fixing to say, both in high leverage situations. The defensive play he made on R.J. Austin was in a 1-run game. Needed to make it out, and he did. Here's the swing from last night. Oh, he knew it off the bat. Check that out.
And Oklahoma ended up getting 3 runs in that inning and 2 more in the 8th after the Commodores had gotten to within 1. 1-2 the count. Vanderbilt going to shift Brody Johnston, the third baseman, over to the first base side of the infield with 2 strikes on the hitter. It's become such a common play all across college baseball.
Yeah, as long as you can pitch to it, it works out in your favor most times. I don't know, man. I was a pretty good bunter, so I'm going to bunt with 2 strikes and try to get that hit.
Count will stay at 2-2 on Jackson Willits. Just a good hitter. He hit 10 home runs after April 5th last year. Honorable mention All Big 12. Just kept getting better and better for this Oklahoma team. And this year he has been super consistent throughout, batting .317 with a team leading 9 home runs.
Really turned himself into a professional hitter, in my opinion. He's handling the plate very well, handling pitching. Guys are getting scouting report on him, and he's adjusting well. Off speed, fastballs. He's a really well all-around hitter.
You know, there's the old saying, good hitters don't get fooled very much. They
don't.
Not a lot of soft contact or light ground balls. He doesn't get fooled very much.
I mean, he's got one of the best teachers in the game as a dad, right? So you got to know they're going over video and have guys try to attack you. It's got to be a fun family to be a part of.
There's ball 4. So the first 4 Oklahoma batters have reached base here in the first inning against Bowker. Well, you know that Vanderbilt would hate to have to go to the bullpen this early. Scott Brown, the pitching coach, and head coach Tim Corbin. But you don't want to fall too much further behind Oklahoma with Kyson Witherspoon, one of the best arms in the country, on the mound today. Here's Dayton Taki, who had 3 hits in last night's game. Taki had a double. Came out of Weatherford College. Junior out of Fort Worth and Weatherford High School. Visit here with Mac Rose and Cody Bowker. See anything early with Bowker? Just not completely sharp in the early going.
I don't think that he's missing. I think the misses are over the middle of the plate. He's not necessarily wild. Obviously, he had the walk to Willits in that last at bat, but it seems like the stuff just isn't as good as it has been.
Taki missing up and away here. There's Tim Corbin, 23rd season, 2 NCAA titles, 4 College World Series in the last 11 years, and 18 straight NCAA tournament appearances, longest active streak in the country. Bowker just doesn't have it right now. Gives the walk to Willits. He hit Jason Walk to start the game. And, of course, the big blow, the 3-run home run by Carmichael.
Yeah, it seems like the release point is off. Need to tighten up that handbrake early in the load. All of his misses are up and in. Arms late.
Taki had an RBI double in the bottom of the 7th for Oklahoma to help the Sooners re-separate that game last night. Popped up, foul, out of play. Dayton Taki, Weatherford College, that's the same conference as McLennan College, where Skip Johnson's son Tyler is the head coach. And there are players on both these rosters who played for Skip Johnson's son Tyler. Mac Rose, the catcher for Vanderbilt, played there. And certainly Oklahoma getting guys like Gavin Jones, one of their pitchers, out of McLennan, as Taki pops this one into center field. R.J. Austin grabs the first out here in the bottom of the first inning, and Willits stays put at first base. Just to get an out right now for Bowker, that's got to be a big sigh of relief for him.
You know, I thought he made a nice adjustment halfway through the bat. It goes down 3-0, gets Taki to swing and foul one off for strike 1, and ends up eventually getting the pop out to R.J. Austin in center.
Sam Christensen to the plate. Mesa, Arizona. 1 for 4 in last night's game. RBI double in the first. It was actually the first run scored. He was trying to hit that one out of here.
Yeah, it's that cutter 85. You'll see that mostly to lefties. Gets under that barrel. Looks like a fastball to the hand. It's got slider movement, though. Hard. 86.
Sam Christensen consistently getting on base for Oklahoma. Second most walks in the SEC. He's got 36 of them. And Jackson Willett's back in on that throw over to first. You see Oklahoma leading the SEC in stolen bases. You know, you mentioned off the outset, these teams mirror each other to a certain degree. Very deep bullpens. They like to put pressure on the defense, use the run game, and they're first and third in the SEC in stolen bases.
Yeah, they have guys that have pop, but they don't necessarily rely on the big fly to score runs. They like to play a little bit of small ball, hit and run. Pretty good defensively. Last night was a little bit of a miscue for Vanderbilt with 2 errors. Very uncharacteristic for them. 19 on the year. I think that leads the SEC.
Swing and a miss, and a big strikeout there for Bowker. So he has really settled down after giving up the home run and then the walk.
Yeah, another good adjustment right there. Fastball at 94. Like I said, everything plays up. So that's, if you have a vertical swing, you've got to be on time to that fastball up in the zone.
So here is Kyle Branch, the Oklahoma freshman second baseman, with Willits at first and 2 down. Branch got off to a blistering start as a freshman. Really worked hard with Russell Raley, Oklahoma assistant coach. You just don't know what it's going to be like your freshman year, but what you know is there are going to be some ups and downs, roller coaster. Batting .309 with a home run. 0 for 4 last night, the Lucas, Texas Lovejoy product.
Yeah, this is the guy that you knew that could pick it coming in, and anything that you got from the plate was just house money. But he led the team in hitting before SEC play, hit around 370 with some big at bats, timely hits as well.
Oh, and 2 on Kyle Branch. And a fastball that swung on and missed, so back-to-back strikeouts. And Bowker gets out of it. He gives up the 3-run home run, though, to Easton Carmichael. And Oklahoma carries a big 3-0 lead to the second inning.
We'll see this one again. That's just middle. Sneaks over the A in Oklahoma in left center.
Tyson Witherspoon back out to the mound. He carries with him a 3-0 lead after he pitched a 1-2-3 top of the first inning. And Vanderbilt coming to the plate to try to respond against one of the nation's best. Tyson Witherspoon. It'll be Brody Johnston, Jonathan Bastine, and then Jaden Davis here in the top of the second. Witherspoon got a couple of fly balls and a ground out. Now faces Brody Johnston. First pitch strike.
If I'm the Commodores this inning, I'm trying to disrupt his timing. You can't let Tyson Witherspoon get in a rhythm. His stuff just gets better with a 3-run lead.
Went after a high fastball. I think the previous pitch was a little elevated and called a strike, so he felt the need to go after that one, Blake.
Yeah, when you set the tone up at the top of the zone, you can expand. Now 0-2, you can do pretty much whatever you want.
Johnson was 1 for 4 with a double in last night's game. That snapped a 1 for 26 skid for him. Reaches out and pokes this one to short. Tough play. Willits off balance. Doesn't matter. It's another strike from the Oklahoma shortstop, who's having a very good defensive series.
He's really playing well. What I like about him, he attacks the baseball. Not many reps taken off. He's ready to play every pitch.
Here's Jonathan Bastine, who's been on a tear. 14 of 25 in his last 7 games. That includes 1 for 4 last night. Tim Corbin says the field is a playground for him. Really known for his defense, but it's been his bat. And it's not like he hasn't been a good hitter, Blake. 4th-year guy and batted .300 with 10 home runs last year, but he's really taken off this year.
Sometimes the game just slows down. 4 years in SEC play, you can really get used to how this game is played. Things just seem to kind of slow themselves and put themselves in front of you. Just take what the defense gives you.
Einstein goes after that one. He's down in the count. 0-2. Brooks Wallace Award semifinalist last year when he drove in 42 runs. Just has the trust of the coaching staff, teammates. But he has spurred the offense the last couple of weeks for the Commodores. Weatherspoon, though, hard to deal with. That's his first strikeout of the day.
Relied exclusively on the slider that at bat. 1, 2, and 3. Liked what he saw. Take another look at this slider, back foot. No chance.
That will get Jaden Davis to the plate. Davis 1 for 4 with a run scored last night. First pitch swinging to Willits. Out behind the bag at second. 3 up and 3 down again for Kyson Weatherspoon. He's retired the first 6 Vanderbilt hitters today. And Oklahoma leads 3-0 headed to the bottom of the 7th. Well, Oklahoma continuing to honor legendary late baseball coach Enos Seymour by wearing his number 24 on their caps and on their jerseys, and the baseball with the number 24 out on the left center field wall just beneath the scoreboard at the ballpark he built with his own hands. There's the Enos number out there on the wall. Winningest coach in Oklahoma baseball history. 851 wins. 62 wins in 1976. 62 of them. And it was so great, you know, having broadcast games here for many years, and my partner, the late great George Frazier, who played for Enos Seymour on those College World Series teams. Thoughts on both of those guys, but just to hear them tell stories. They would play 3 games in a day, Blake.
Yeah, George would tell me that he had to put up and take down the fences in those games. They used to play over there. Where was it at? Over off Chautauqua.
Right, yeah, over off Chautauqua here in Norman. And Enos Seymour, this ballpark was built with dirt from the back of his pickup truck. With his own hands. Just great man, and impacted so many Oklahoma baseball players over the years. Getting a start today, Deshaun Harris, a slow chopper, and he's just too speedy to be able to get him at first base. Deshaun Harris did not play in last night's game, and he has a leadoff base hit in the Oklahoma second inning.
This is a high chopper right over the plate. Gets right over the head of Bowker. Second baseman Rustin Rigdon made a good play on it, but just the speed of Deshaun Harris, tough.
Deshaun Harris started all 3 games of the LSU series last weekend. Didn't play in Oklahoma's midweek game or last night, but getting the start and coming through with this opening hit in the second. Here's Dawson Willis. Started every game at third base as a junior, transferring in from the junior college Division II ranks, LSU Eunice, where he was the National Player of the Year. Sprays this one into right center. Harris was on the move. Austin will make the catch. The throw back behind Harris. Not going to be able to get it. So Oklahoma, that's what the Sooners like to do, Blake, is put pressure on opposing defenses.
Yeah, you saw it right in action right there. Harris at first base didn't pick that ball up late. You got to be careful. R.J. Austin's got a cannon.
Yes, he does.
Center field. He almost threw a guy out last night.
And he likes to show it off. I don't blame him. This guy's an elite defender. He's played 3 different positions during his time as a Commodore, and all at an elite level.
Heard a story about him. He talked his coach into playing second base or catcher just to say that he could in high school.
Harris swipes second base on the first pitch here to Jason Walk.
Good jump there by Harris. 4 or 5 on the year. Gets a good read. Get a little hook slide on the backside.
80th stolen base for Oklahoma as a team, leading the SEC. And a man in scoring position again for Walk, who got hit by pitch his first time, and then he scored on Easton Carmichael's 3-run home run. Did you see the SEC Network postgame interview with Jason Walk?
Did not. Oh, they were stacking.
Yeah, it was kind of like a snack box that they had. They made him hold the snack box as teammates were coming and picking snacks out of the box. And then he had applesauce down the back of his shirt.
That's tough. That's sticky.
He was a pro about it. He rifles this one to right field. Humphrey over to it. It's going to bounce off the warning track and then off the wall. Now, Harris got a bad look at that and thought that it might be caught by Humphrey. He'll wind up at third base, but Walk hits a rocket, and he is starting to get hot for this Oklahoma team. That's his 4th hit in 2 games.
11 double on the year. He's swinging it well. I thought last night he had a really good approach. Let's get another look at this one. Fastball in, kind of a sinker look. Just stays connected. Drives it to the center, to right field. Look at this.
That is double number 11 for Jason Walk, which leads this Oklahoma team. He had a double in last night's game. Had a double, a triple, and a single last night. Was a homer shy of the cycle. And that's going to draw a visit from associate head coach and pitching coach Scott Brown. What a great job he's done. 13 picks in the first 3 rounds of the Major League Baseball draft since he took over 13 seasons ago. Walker Buehler, Sonny Gray, those guys ring a bell.
Kumar Rocker, Jack Leiter. We can go down the list, man.
They have had them. Skip Johnson, of course, has guys all over the big leagues as well that have been at Oklahoma or with him in Texas. And now you got Kate Cavalli with the Nationals. You've got others on their way up as far as the Sooners are concerned, including Cade Horton, who's with the Cubs. But what a job that Scott Brown has done from Skip Johnson over there.
Just had to drop the Cubs in there, didn't you?
Well, you know, Jake Bennett was on that College World Series runner-up team for Oklahoma. They had 11 guys drafted after that. I mean, deep Cade Horton, Jake Bennett, the 2 standout pitchers. Guys like Trevin Michael, David Sandlin, who has a chance to make it to the big leagues as well. But there have been a lot of pitchers come from these 2 programs in the last 5 to 10 years. There's a strike to Gamble, who doubled his first time up. Scored on Carmichael's home run. Oklahoma with runners at second and third. 3 runs across the plate in the first. One and 2 the count. Trey Gamble is just one of those guys, and Skip Johnson equated it to a good offensive lineman. You don't necessarily notice that they're in there until they're not in there. And that was the case when Gamble went down with his lower body injury.
It's definitely a different Sooner offense with him not in the lineup. Like I said, a guy that can separate balls from strikes, handles the zone well, doesn't try to do too much, uses the middle of the field very well.
He batted in the leadoff spot last night. Oklahoma shuffled things around with the lefty Thompson on the mound. That one's cut on and missed. A big strikeout there for Bowker. That's his 3rd. Struck out the final 2 guys in the first inning.
That stays with the fastball away. Overpowers Gamble. Look at that. That's dotted on the black. Great pitch.
Former college outfielder that transitioned into pitching. And here's Carmichael, who hit the 3-run home run in the first inning. A little off speed that time with Carmichael, who belted it out over the A in the middle of Oklahoma in left center field his first time today. Played in the Cape Cod League over the summer. MVP of the Cape Cod League All-Star game. There aren't many who can say that, Blake.
It's a very short list. He comes highly touted. Labeled as a free swinger, but handles the bat well. Power to all fields. Keep that name in mind.
Carmichael smashes this one, but patrolling center is Austin, and he catches that liner off the bat of Carmichael, who homered back in the first. Oklahoma gets 2 hits but no runs. 3-0 Sooners headed to the 3rd. on top 3-0. Tim Corbin's Commodores will try to rally here as we hit the top of the third. Look at what this program's done during the 23 seasons. The Hall of Famer has been the head coach. 21 first-round picks, 5 College World Series, 2 titles, and 18 first-team All-Americans. And what's been in the middle of this good run that they've had, you know, the sweep against Florida, the midweek win against Dayton, and the start they've gotten off to, it's been a simple formula. I mean, at least it sounds simple. Pitch well and defend, and you'll win a lot of games. And that's what he says has kind of been in the middle of this stretch that they've gotten off to. I know it was a rough go for them last night, but this team's just like a lot of these Vanderbilt teams.
Yeah, they respect the game well. Come out every day, get their work in. Really good defensive team. I love watching a really good defensive team. You see guys with great hands all over the infield, attack baseballs. They always seem to get the good hop, right? In manufacturing baseball, it's a purist team, right? A guy that really likes to lay the bunt down, steal bases, hit and run, stuff like that. It's incredible to watch.
Mac Rose was the DH last night, catching today. Colin Barcy was originally in the lineup today, but he was scratched about 45 minutes before first pitch, and they just shifted Rose into that catching spot. Out of Rockwall, Texas, as we said, McLennan Community College. 1 for 3 last night in that DH spot. Had 2 hits in their midweek win over Dayton. Little flare out into left field that's going to land. And the first base runner of the afternoon for the Commodores is the catcher, Mac Rose.
Good hitters get jammed, Chad. First guy on in the inning, that's a really good piece.
Now to get Braden Holcomb to the plate. Did not play in last night's game. Big 6'5", 240-pound sophomore from Orlando. Started to play well toward the end of last season. Hasn't been in the lineup every day for the Commodores this year. And Witherspoon misses up and in. Kyson Witherspoon. It's like Oklahoma's kind of playing with house money in this series, in that they didn't utilize him in the series opener, yet they got a win, and here he is in game 2.
It's definitely a different outlook. I'm sure Kyson wants that Friday night spot, but really happy for his teammate Cade Crossland doing what he did last night.
What is it about that Friday night spot? It's like basketball, you want to be in the starting lineup, or football, you want to run through the tunnel and get your name called.
For me, it's just being under the lights, man. You got a packed house, really energetic crowd. You want to give them a good performance. At the end of the day, you're just trying to put on a good show, right? That's what these kids are trying to do, as well as trying to advance their careers. But you want to give these fans something to come and watch.
That was Cade Crossland you saw over there in the Oklahoma dugout. The left-hander who got the win for the Sooners last night. 1-2 the count.
It's a big swing. Did you get a chance to see his BP?
Holcomb? Yeah, it's impressive.
It's loud.
It's a show.
Man.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It is loud. That's a big boy.
Yeah.
6'5", 240. That one rolls away from the first baseman, Taki. Trying to keep Mac Rose close over there. Mac Rose has stolen 1 base on the year. At some point, do you think the colleges will limit pickoff throws like they do in the big leagues?
They keep trying to speed the game up, so I think everything will eventually trickle down. I actually enjoy the safety base, right? I mean, there's so many collisions that happen at the collegiate level, and all that does is keep guys healthy. The better product that we can put on the field. If we have to add an extra base, great. I'm here for it.
Two is fouled off. I think Skip Johnson would tell you want to speed up the game, give them wooden bats.
Classic statement. We hit with wood bats in the fall one year. I think it was one of his first years as a head coach, and it was definitely demoralizing facing Jake Irvin with a wood bat.
4 NCAA tournaments, the 2022 national runner-up to Ole Miss in Omaha, Skip Johnson. You know, his team had lost 4 straight going into last night, and he said, I haven't lost confidence in them. Now it's up to them to figure out if they've lost confidence in themselves. And it was quite a response for Oklahoma's bats last night.
Yeah, he's all about punching the clock, getting your work in. The outcome is the outcome. It's about the process and how you get to the next pitch. What's your attitude on any given day? You want to see the same guy when you go 0 for 4 versus 4 for 4, man. It's the classic cliche. It truly works. This is a game of failure. You got to find a way to be happy in the failure.
Payoff pitch coming to Holcomb. Got him swinging. That is the second strikeout for Kyson Witherspoon, his 70th of the year.
It's a good sequence here. Let's get another look at this slider away. Starts up, stays up. Just moving east to west at the top of the zone to get under the barrel of Holcomb.
First case, they got to get another one up there. That's number 2. They're usually right on top of that down there. That's a lonely looking K right there. Yeah, he struck out Vastine.
He's in mid-conversation.
Okay.
He's just trying to get
distracted.
caught up. Right.
You've got to get concessions ordered and catch up with everyone, make sure everything's good. Rustin Rigdon, the batter, with 1 away, and he lifts this one foul and out of play. Rigdon played left field last night. He's in the lineup in second base today. He was 1 for 3 in last night's game, and they call him Rooster. But you ask, surely there's a great story behind that. I mean, Rooster. Rustin Rigdon, first of all, is a great name.
Big league name.
But then you add Rooster to the mix, and you've really got something. But it's just kind of a Little League coach started calling him that many years ago. And, you know, it's like, you know, they say you can't, with fastballs, you can't get daylight past the Rooster, getting the fastball past him. I don't think that's the source of it. Maybe it was. Nobody seems to know its origin, but I like it.
Hey, I resonated with that. I grew up with the name Rooster as well.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the origin of that?
Well, it just rhymed with my last name.
Rooster Brewster. Okay, I get it. That's simple. That's almost not fun.
Yeah, I know. Just got tired of it eventually, you know, but I think Rustin Rigdon just kind of lives it, right?
Agreed. Number 9 batter in the lineup. Commodores trying to scratch something out against one of the nation's best, Kyson Witherspoon. 2-2 the count. We'll see Malachi Witherspoon, the twin brother of Kyson, tomorrow. There he is, watching his brother. You know, these two guys were not super highly recruited in high school. In fact, their junior year, not many teams, not many schools knew about them. And they said, well, let's change that. So they really took the onus upon themselves to lift, to work hard in the offseason before their senior years in high school. They were not big travel ball circuit players either. They played fall ball. Of course, they played at their high school in the springtime. And they just got busy doing the work. And the doing of the work has carried over to the college level. As this one is rolled to the second baseman Branch, only play will be to first, and Rigdon is retired for the second out. Mac Rose will scoot on down the line to second base. So some schools started to take notice of the Witherspoons, Blake. Their senior year, colleges came in, and they wound up at Northwest Florida State College. And that's where they broke out. Schools like Oklahoma and others all over the country discovered them. They wound up here in Oklahoma, and of course this past summer they pitched for Team USA against Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, there really are a package deal, right? And a lot of people say it's the same stuff, but Skip Johnson begs to differ. The stuff is different.
And Oklahoma even went so far as to a couple of weekends split their starts. So as you're not watching the same guy for many, many innings, they would start Kyson on Friday and then Malachi on Sunday. But this week, with Kyson pushed back a day anyway, they will go on back-to-back days. Here's Jacob Humphrey, popped up to the second baseman Branch in the first, and 1-1 to count. So if you're talking about the difference between them, maybe you got Kyson that's a tad bit more consistent, but Malachi's breaking stuff is just electric.
Yeah,
Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, man. He relies more on a breaking ball. I would say that the release point is a little bit different. That gives Kyson to allow him to be a little bit more consistent in the zone. He can really work off the fastball, be the breaker or the cutter, change up to lefties. But Malachi is the same guy. Skip Johnson says the only way that he can really tell them apart is one of them is taller. He won't tell us which one, but one of them is taller.
Hard hit ground ball to short. Willits on target. And Humphrey is retired. Leadoff single by Rose, but he is left stranded. It is 3-0 Oklahoma, headed to the bottom of the third on SEC Network Plus. 17 hits in the 2 games so far, and really it's 17 hits in 11 innings of baseball in this series. And over the course of the 4-game losing streak. Now, listen, it's a 4-game losing streak. You played LSU 3 times, who can make you feel like you're not very good, and then a top 20 Dallas Baptist team that came to Norman in the midweek. But last night, certainly 9 runs on 13 hits. Kind of a gut check, you might say, for Oklahoma's offense last night, Blake, and they passed it.
Definitely a breakout game. And let's talk about that LSU series. They had opportunities on Friday and Saturday. Bases loaded in the first inning, less than 2 outs. The timely hit wasn't there, right? They had the opportunity to make something happen. They just didn't. They took advantage last night. That was the key rollover, right? It takes one guy to step up and say, look, I'm gonna put the team on my back right here, find some grass in the outfield, let's go running.
Bowker, this is just a little bit outside, being careful with Willits, who walked his first time up. We're talking with the Vanderbilt staff and around the program. How would you describe Bowker's delivery? It kind of sidearm. It's a little funky. It's got a little hitch to it as well.
He gets really good extension, gets down the hill very well, and it's a high 3/4 slot, so everything is low launch. So what that means is it'll start low and ride the plane up. He's got a high spin rate. Everything plays up in the zone. He uses a cutter to get more east to west action to miss barrels, and he uses a sweeper to get righties out. He'll throw that change up to lefties to keep him off balance, but he looks like a guy that can really handle a workload, and he has. Walks have been a problem for him in the SEC.
Willits got under this one just a little bit. Shading his eyes out there is Humphrey. He's having all sorts of difficulty with the sun. And you played out in right field in this stadium at this time of the day. What kind of a challenge is it, especially when you got this high bluebird sky?
I was talking to Kendall Pettis the other day about it, and it's difficult, but you got to use your glove, right? And it's not very many times that the ball gets lined up directly with the sun. But you take enough reps out there, you kind of know how it's going to play. As long as you get a good read off the bat, you don't get caught up in it a whole lot. Like I said, it's very minimal times it gets lined up directly in the sun. Now, it's scary when it does. It is very scary when it does.
Dayton Taki popped up to the center fielder R.J. Austin his first time. Oh, 0-2 to the Oklahoma first baseman. Taki broke out of a recent dry spell with 3 hits last night. Out on strikes here, so he's 0 for 2 against Bowker today. 2 gone, and that is 4 in a row retired by Cody Bowker now.
Went back to the sweeper on that one. This was never a strike. Nice job by Bowker. He's got the stuff to get outs. I think the release point was a little bit off in that first inning, allowing that middle fastball for Easton Carmichael to take advantage of, but he's done a really nice job settling in.
First pitch to Sam Christensen is down and in, ball 1. He struck out his first time. Bowker gave up the 3-run home run to Carmichael in the first. And remember, Oklahoma had 2 men aboard with 1 away in the second. And he's retired everybody since then. So he has found his groove, but it's 2-0 here to Christensen. And 3-0 to the man who is second in walks in the SEC, Sam Christensen. Bowker with the auto strike.
That Christensen with that 36 mark on the walk column, chasing the record at 69 from Blake Robertson in 2022, that Omaha run for the Sooners.
And there's number 37. 2-out walk to Christensen in the third. It's not like those pitches were way off. Christensen just has excellent eye.
Yeah, knows his zone well. Being able to know the umpire, getting a relationship with home plate umpire Joseph Smith, how he's going to call the game. Hey, is that a ball out? Is that the top of your zone? Is that how far you're going to extend it out? All those are good details to have as a hitter, and Christensen is one of the best in the game at it.
Cal Branch struck out his first time. He broke a string of 4 straight, retired by Cody Bowker. This Vanderbilt team, you know, the staples we talked about under Tim Corbin, pitching and defense, certainly. And they are 5th in the SEC in earned run average, 4th most strikeouts, and they have the best opponent batting average. 207 is what opposing hitters are hitting off this pitching staff. There's strike 1 to Branch. They're also second in fielding percentage, and they've committed the second fewest errors in the SEC. That's a good recipe.
It really is, and the bullpen is not necessarily overpowering. Not a whole lot of guys that'll run it up to 95, 96 as you're used to seeing these days. They're really just got a bulldog mentality and let their stuff work. Everything works off the middle of the plate, and they just let it run.
Two balls and a strike here to Branch. Strikeout victim to end the first inning was Cal Branch. A 3-run home run by Easton Carmichael in the first inning is all of the scoring so far. Oklahoma won last night's game 9-4. And 3 balls and a strike down. Very good freshman season for Cal Branch, batting at .306. 19 runs batted in. He has hit 1 home run. And there's ball 4. This looks a little bit like what we saw to the first 4 or 5 hitters of the game.
It seems like the release point is off again. A lot of his misses are going to be up and into a righty. The arm action is late. Got to try to time up that foot strike with the ground. Get the release point out front and on time.
So Desan Harris is the Oklahoma batter. He had an infield base hit his first time up. Christensen is the runner at second. Branch is at first. And Harris pops one up, foul. That'll get out of play. Great crowds at Mitchell Park. Oklahoma had its, I guess you'd call it, spring football experience today. So many teams are going away from the spring game, and I would imagine there were a few fans at the Crimson Combine just down Jenkins Road today at Gaylord Family Memorial Stadium. Vanderbilt had the spring football game today as well out in Nashville. Harris rockets the 1-1 pitch into right field. Turning around third, Christensen. He's headed to the plate. And Desan Harris is 2 for 2 in this game. He's driven in the 4th Sooner run with a 2-out base hit into right field that scores Sam Christensen.
Harris with a quick bat path. Gets a fastball up and in here. Just stays short to it. Drives it in the right center gap for his 8th RBI in the year.
And, you know, just a mystery. It's the walks. Of Oklahoma's 4 runs now in this game, 1 scored on a hit by pitch, 1 has scored on a walk. Dawson Willis takes strike 1 from Bowker. Willis flat out to the center fielder R.J. Austin back in the second. Oh, 2 now. It's almost like Bowker, something gives him a wake-up call, and then he just starts zipping strikes in there.
You'll see that for 2 or 3 batters, and then he goes back to what he was doing. Like, those were 2 dotted fastballs in the black glove side.
1-2 now to Dawson Willis. Willis 1 for 4 in last night's game. He has stolen 13 bases, so when he gets on, he is tough to handle. Strike 3 call. Big strikeout there to close things for Bowker. So Cody Bowker, 2 strikeouts in the inning and now 5 in the game. But Oklahoma gets a run on a base hit by Deshaun Harris, and the Sooners take a 4-0 lead to the 4th. Busy afternoon of baseball all around the SEC. Kentucky beats Texas today, snapping the Longhorns' 5-game winning streaks. An error in the 15th inning. That series is tied up at a game apiece. You see Georgia trying to even their series with top-ranked Arkansas. Razorbacks have won 9 straight games. Ole Miss and Tennessee. Rebels trying to even that one up at a game apiece as well. Liam Doyle against his former team pitched the Vols to a win last night. 8 1/3 innings for him, getting that win. Got Missouri and Florida scheduled to play 2 in Gainesville today. They played on Thursday. Florida won that one 11-2. And Texas A&M has taken the first 2 games of their series with South Carolina. They'll play another one. Kyson Weatherspoon misses away with a 96-mile-per-hour fastball to Riley Nelson, who flied out to center field his first time. Ground ball to first. Taki says he will take it himself, and he does so successfully for the first out in the 4th inning. Dayton Taki had 3 hits last night. He has been very good defensively, good feet, and he has saved a few errors on the infield as well with his glove at first base.
Yeah, one of the best pickers of a baseball I've ever seen. It's a special talent in my mind, because it takes a lot of the reps, but you either have it or you don't. It's all in his hands. He does a nice job of smothering the baseball, coming and get it, and getting the best top he can.
First pitch swinging. Austin whacks one into center field. It'll carry a little bit out to the warning track for Jason Walk to pull it in. You know, you talk about bounces. Both these teams play on artificial surfaces, but not all artificial surfaces were created alike. They do play differently.
Yeah, I think that was shown last night in the throw from center field from R.J. Austin. Jason Walk hit a sure single up the middle. He's hustling out of the box. R.J. Austin with a rope to second base. Rustin Rignan just unable to handle it, because it just this turf plays a little bit slower. I believe in Vanderbilt they have a more rubber. This is a wood chip feel, so it kind of plays a little bit slower. Texas is different as well. Their turf is more like, I would call it football grass, kind of thicker, plays extremely slow. So sliding becomes more difficult. Ground balls will be slower. It's different, man. That's why you come in on Thursday and really got to get your reps in.
0-2 the count as Brody Johnston swings right through a fastball from Kyson Weatherspoon. Brody Johnston grounded out to Jackson Willits, the Oklahoma shortstop, his first time. A focused Kyson Weatherspoon. He's given just 1 hit, and there's strike 3 to Brody Johnston. Kyson Witherspoon with his 3rd strikeout. He has pitched 4 scoreless innings for Oklahoma, and the man who preceded him in getting a win for the Sooners last night, Kate Crossland, will join us when we go to the bottom of the 4th next.
Didn't have his best stuff, but worked through it as well. I thought he settled in nicely for a couple innings. Right here we got number 34, Brendan Sieber. Guy that really has a low batting average against, 1.48. 1.53 ERA on the year for his 13th appearance. 6'6" sophomore out of Newport Beach, California. 240, man. They really know how to find him.
I mean, they will, when you're that big, they will find you wherever you are. But you mentioned it, ERA 1.53 for Brandon Sieber. He'll take over here in the 4th inning and just try to get the Commodores some innings. You mentioned it earlier. Vanderbilt has an extensive bullpen. And so this is not out of the ordinary for the Commodores to go to the bullpen and ask guys to go 2, 3, 4, 5 innings. Don't necessarily know exactly what your role is going to be, but the role is go get some outs. But a fairly short day for Cody Bowker today.
Yeah, 3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 earned runs. I think it was the walks, three walks to 5 strikeouts. He had the stuff to get guys out, but just struggled with command.
And Jason Walk will come to the plate for Oklahoma. We've got the Sooner winning pitcher from last night, Kate Crossland, joining us from the Oklahoma dugout. Kate, thanks for spending a couple of moments with us. What was so effective? What worked so well for you last night in getting that win? I'm not sure Kate can hear us down there, Blake. Didn't seem like either he didn't like my question or he can't hear us.
I think they're playing a joke on him. They just put the headset on him and we'll just have him stand at the end of the dugout. Look at him.
Kate, can you hear us down there? He's got nothing.
Nothing.
We'll Morse code some questions down there to him and see if we can get some answers. In the meantime, Jason Walk hit by pitch and then scored on Easton Carmichael's home run in the 1st, and then Walk had a double but was left stranded in the 2nd. Walk's got some pop as well. He's hit 5 home runs this year. There's strike 3 called. So out of the bullpen, firing gas as Brennan Sieber punches out Jason Walk to start the 4th.
Yeah, coming out exclusive with the fastball. This one ends up being upstairs. J-Walk didn't like the call. Strike nonetheless. You'll see it kind of backs up on him. Jason Walk thought that was in, but it tailed back into the zone.
That is the 6th strikeout for Commodores pitching today as Gamble shoots one toward the Vanderbilt dugout on the first base side. Trey Gamble doubled and scored on Carmichael's home run in the 1st, and then he struck out against Bowker in the 2nd. Batting average up near 350. That doesn't even get you into the top 20 in the SEC, Blake.
You think you're having a good year and you look around.
You are.
Yeah, everybody's just nuts.
Was there a swing? They appealed down to 3rd base, and Eddie Newsom says there was no swing. So the count is 2-1 on Trey Gamble. Here's Eddie Newsom.
Kind of like John Rahm today playing with Zach Johnson.
At the
Did you see
Masters?
that? Yeah, at the Masters. Did you see that?
Yeah. Zach Johnson, former champion, lighting it up. But it's baseball here. Baseball.
It's Masters week still.
It is. You're right. Trey Gamble draws a walk. So he's doubled, struck out, and now walked. And so Trey Gamble marches to first base with one away. And Easton Carmichael, who hit the 3-run home run in the 1st inning, strolls in.
Got the chance to ask Carmichael if he saw that ball that he made that great play on last night. He said, not at first. I took 2 steps towards the pitcher's mound. I was like, oh no, I got to get back.
Bunts this one, and it comes back up and gets a piece of it. There's a foul ball that came back up and hit him last night. Catchers can't catch a break very often.
They're tough though, right? Some of the toughest human beings in the world just get beat and battered behind the dish. come up acting like they're fine. Tough individuals.
That one thrown away at first base. Gamble gets up. Riley Nelson will actually give way to the second baseman Rigdon, who picks up that ball. That's the second time in the series that a Commodores pitcher has made an errant pickoff throw to first base.
Yeah, last night was Miller Green. This one just gets under the glove of Riley Nelson. Going to be a short hop. Got to find a way to body that up. Go down to a knee, smother it.
So Trey Gamble in scoring position on the first error of the ball game. And up and in to Carmichael. Easton Carmichael comes by catching honestly. His dad Darby, former Oklahoma catcher as well. And his brother Braden was a Sooner pitcher. In fact, there was an all Carmichael battery a couple of years ago. Braden pitching to Easton.
Yeah, they never would have had a chance. It's one of the best things to come out of COVID, right? We're 5 years apart. Able to come together for that one season. It was pretty incredible to watch.
2 balls and a strike here to Easton Carmichael. Feels like a dangerous pitch from Cyber. And it's a good pitch. Out in front of it was Easton Carmichael, 2-2.
Looked like a slider there. Had Carmichael completely out on his front foot.
Fouled off the foot of Easton Carmichael. And are they going to say that he was out of the batter's box, or what's the call here? As Joseph Smith has come out and he has called Easton Carmichael out. And now the umpires are going to gather. Well, it was most certainly a foul ball.
Unless he stepped out of the box.
And that's a possibility. Nope, foul ball will be the call. So the umpires get their heads together. And I'm assuming that he said Carmichael was out of the box when the ball hit him.
Nowhere close. Interesting.
Well, we just need a refocus, Blake.
Hey, we got it right. Ended up making the right call.
That's a fact. That one is behind Carmichael, and down to third will go Gamble. So Gamble has walked, gone to second on an error, and to third on a wild pitch. It's a free trip around the bases for Trey Gamble.
Cybers really brought this on himself. The short throw to first base, now the wild pitch. Putting Gamble in scoring position, less than 2 outs and a 3-2 count.
That's a good job by Carmichael to get the bat out of the way. That nearly hit his bat for a foul ball. And there's ball 4. Runners at first and third. Back-to-back walks issued by Cyber now. And as you were alluding to, it was the free passes, the walks, and the hit batsman that got Bowker into trouble. And now Scott Brown is going to come back out of the Commodores dugout for a conversation. Well, Vanderbilt got by last night using Tristan Bristow and Luke Guth, who have been fairly little usage guys out of the bullpen. So just about everybody is available. They have Connor Fennell and Sawyer Hawks, who have been very good. Miller Green, we'll see if he goes tonight. Miller Green's been a very effective lefty for Vanderbilt. And you see the stretching is going on. It's almost like it's under disguise out there because of the Oklahoma baseball NCAA appearances. But there's activity in the Commodores bullpen. Nobody throwing yet, just some stretching.
General milling.
Good word for it. Milling about in the bullpen. But this is a dangerous spot with Jackson Willits, who homered last night, coming to the plate. He has a conversation with his dad, Reggie, the Oklahoma offensive orchestrator.
I think this is a conversation of just moving the hit spot out, getting something to elevate in an advantage count. Going to see a lot of spin with a runner in scoring position, less than 2 outs. Going to see that in a window up.
You know, Oklahoma leads this game 4-0, Blake, but they've stranded 5 runners in the first 3 innings. And they have a couple more out there with only 1 out. And Cyber pumps a strike through there to Jackson Willits. That one skips away from Rose. Did it hit him? Yeah, it did. It got a piece of Jackson Willits. And so the runners will move up. And though Jackson Willits is going to go to first base, that might be a break for the Commodores because Gamble might have scored on that.
Oh, absolutely. Kind of best case scenario. I don't know that it clipped him.
I don't think it did.
I think Jackson Willits kind of played that. Oh, it did.
It got
the front calf. You're absolutely right. Best case scenario there for Cyber. Making contact with a batter to save a run.
So back-to-back walks and a hit by pitch. And Oklahoma has a golden chance against the reliever, Brennan Cyber. Dayton Taki's 0 for 2 in this game, but had 3 hits last night. Swings to that first pitch, a little bit out in front of it. It's Taki. He has flied to center and struck out today. Taki doubled home a run in the 7th inning of last night's game. That game was still in doubt. Oklahoma had gotten out to a 4-0 lead, but Vanderbilt closed to 4-3. Willits homered, and the double that Taki got helped provide a little more separation in the 9-4 Oklahoma win. 2 balls and a strike to Taki. Just a little bit outside, very close. Blake, you think sometimes when you're throwing a lot of strikes, you might get the benefit of the doubt on a pitch like that?
Oh, absolutely. Umpires getting a rhythm just like pitchers do, right? And if you see Joseph Smith seen a lot of strikes, he's going to get used to seeing that.
Slow roller. Rigdon gets the out at first, but Oklahoma plates run number 5. Trey Gamble scores on the RBI groundout by Dayton Taki, and it's 5-0 Oklahoma in the 4th.
Gets the job done there. Any way that you can do it. Now you need a 2-out hit.
So it's Carmichael at third, Willits at second. Taki is retired at first. And here's Sam Christensen, who walked and scored his first time up. Or I should say his last time up.
Guy that can really separate this game. 4 home runs on the year.
And that one hits him. Second hits batsman of the inning. Couple that with 2 walks. And Cyber's pretty fortunate to have given up only 1 run to this point. And that's going to do it for him, as head coach Tim Corbin is out for a pitching change. And the Commodores will go to their 3rd arm of the day here in the 4th inning. Tim Corbin takes the ball from Brennan Cyber. Bases are loaded and 2 outs. Commodores going to England Bryan, a freshman right-hander out of Hillsborough, Tennessee, when we come back to Norman. In from the bullpen, the 3rd pitcher of the game is right-hander England Bryan. He is a freshman, 6'1" and 231 pounds. We saw Cody Bowker get the start, then Brennan Cyber, and now England Bryan.
8th appearance on the year, 6.43 ERA, giving up 5 hits, 13 walks, strikeouts to 7 walks. Batting average against is sitting at 200.
So he'll try to get the Commodores through a few outs, but he inherits a tough situation here. Bases loaded, 2 gone. Kyle Branch will be the Oklahoma batter. Oklahoma's had multiple opportunities today. They are 3 for 7 with runners in scoring position, 1 for 4 with 2 outs. Sooners have left 5 runners stranded. And this one is bounced toward the third baseman, and Johnston can't come up with it. And Jackson Willits going down the line, I think, obstructed his view a little bit. Easton Carmichael scores. We'll get a look at the replay, but Willits certainly made it hard for Johnston to come up with that ball cleanly, Blake. Let's look again.
Yeah, it's a heads-up play by Jackson Willits. Times this up to pass him, kind of a little pick play. If you're a basketball fan, giving Brody Johnson some fits over there in the 5-hole. Well timed up, a little hezzy with the shoulders.
You know, it's 2 things. Number one, he has to avoid being struck by the baseball in play, does Willits, but he did it just well enough. It's an error against Johnston, and Oklahoma leads this game 6-0 now as Carmichael scores.
And that's a play that won't go down in the scorebook, right? Jackson Willits scored that run, allowing Kyle Branch time to get to first base and messing with Brody Johnson's vision.
Here's Harris, who's 2 for 2. He drove in a run with a base hit to right field back in third. So Gamble and Carmichael, who both reached on walks, have scored in this inning. There's a strike, 2-1, 97-mile-per-hour fastball. 2 runs have scored in this inning without an Oklahoma hit. An error, 2 hit batsmen, and 2 walks. Boy, this is a rarity for a Vanderbilt pitching staff. Rifled into left center field. 3rd hit of the game for Harris. Willits has scored. Rounding third and touching home plate is Sam Christensen. It's a 2-run single for Deshaun Harris, and Oklahoma has opened it up. They lead 8-0 in the 4th inning.
Deshaun Harris ages like fine wine like this game. Fastball middle. That's high velo. On time, short, compact swing. Kids, watch this. Learn.
So it's 4 runs on just 1 hit in the inning for Oklahoma to lead 8-0 in the 4th. And here is the 9th batter of the inning, 3rd baseman Dawson Willis. How about Deshaun Harris? Take advantage of an opportunity.
Yeah, platoon guy. Only faces right-handed pitchers, excuse me. And it seems like he always gives you good at-bats.
Throw to first as Harris leans back in there. Kyle Branch, who reached on an error, is the man at third base. Dawson Willis 0 for 2. He's flying to center and struck out. High fly ball, deep left field. Holcomb is back, but this ball is way out of here and gone. 2nd home run of the game for Oklahoma. Dawson Willis launches a 3-run blast. It's 11-0 Oklahoma in the 4th inning. A pair of 3-run home runs for the Sooners today, delighting the crowd at L. Mitchell Park. One by Easton Carmichael. This one by Dawson Willis is his 4th of the year.
Some will say this is wind dated, but I disagree. You got all of this baseball. Take another look here. Fastball elevated. Gets the barrel to it. Great extension out front. Park it on the burn.
So for Oklahoma, that's now 2 home runs on the day, 3 in the series. And now the umpires are going to get together. Your guess is as good as mine as to what this is about.
No idea. Looks like we had some commotion going down the third base line. Eddie Newsom down there. We'll learn together.
They do have microphones now. And Skip Johnson being called out. Joseph Smith, the plate umpire, called him out, and now he's visiting with Eddie Newsom, the third base umpire, the crew chief. And I'm not sure we're going to get an announcement as to what that was. I don't know. Maybe we can get a shot of Eddie Newsom and what was happening, as you said, over there on the third base side. In the meantime, Jason Walk, who started the inning by striking out, will bat for the second time here in the fourth. And he has a big hack at that one. So it's a 7-run inning for Oklahoma on just 2 hits. The big blow being the 3-run Dawson Willis home run. Jason Walk today is 1 for 2. He's doubled. He's been hit by pitch, and he has struck out. One and 2. Walk hits this one just foul. It skips outside of first base. A lot to digest here in this inning. I think the number one thing that you look at is this is such a rarity for Vanderbilt pitching. You know, 2 walks, 2 hit batsmen. They've been shaky defensively, committing 2 errors in this game. It's just an atypical series so far for the Commodores, Blake.
And on top of all that, the Sooners are piecing them up. It's a little bit of a culture shock.
Oklahoma 11 runs in this game. There's strike 3 called. Walk strikes out for the second time. The inning is over, but 7 runs on 2 hits and 1 error. There was nobody left. And Oklahoma with an 11-0 lead. Dawson Willis gets all of this one, Blake.
Every bit of it. New Orleans off the bat. Great swing.
Well, Oklahoma looking to take this weekend series from Vanderbilt. They have an 11-0 lead, and they have one of the best pitchers in the country in Kyson Witherspoon, who's given just 1 hit through 4 innings. And we'll see what Vanderbilt's response is here. Their backs to the wall. They lost 9-4 last night. Oklahoma has outscored Vanderbilt 20-4 in the series, and the Sooners have 20 hits so far in the 2 games. Jonathan Bastine, the first up. Bastine, and then Jaden Davis, and then Mac Rose to face Witherspoon. He's given up only a leadoff single to Mac Rose back in the 3rd inning. A pitch downstairs. So we are told that the discussion that went on after the Dawson Willis home run had to do with some fans who were being a little rowdy, and Eddie Newsom had security attend to them over on the 3rd base side. So it was not the Oklahoma dugout. It was the stands behind the Oklahoma dugout. Bastine swings through that fastball from Kyson Witherspoon. What must the Commodores do against this elite arm, Blake?
You got to disrupt his timing. He's done all of this on 45 pitches and here into the 5th. I mean, he's averaging 10 pitches an inning, and he's keeping guys off balance, coming at him with the fastball, getting ahead in every count.
There's a chance that both Kyson and Malachi Witherspoon get drafted in the 1st round. Certainly within the first 3 or 4 rounds. The 2-2 pitch, fouled back. As Skip Johnson says, the stuff is big league level, and the work is big league level. And he knows.
They're both very vocal in the bullpen. Really good leaders. Kyson and Malachi will comment on other teammates' bullpens and tell them what they see. And Skip appreciates that, man. It's peer-to-peer. It's a lot easier to kind of connect with your guys, sometimes more than a pitching coach. Skip is obviously very talented. Clayton Kershaw, the list goes on as you went through earlier. But sometimes when it's coming from a peer, it means just a little bit more.
2-2 here on Bastine. Mentioned his recent tear. Bastine's 14 out of his last 26, but he struck out against Kyson Witherspoon back in the 2nd. Strike 3. I mean, just pours it across the outer half at 96 miles an hour. Here's a look at the top prospects in the SEC. You see R.J. Austin. We've seen flashes from him this weekend. And there's Kyson Witherspoon, who is number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of them probably, there's a chance they all go in the first round, Blake.
Right.
I mean, half the first round could be SEC players.
And with the addition of Oklahoma and Texas, there's been comparisons to the SEC being at a minor league level. The talent is just spread out all across 16 teams. You never have an off weekend, and it's very comparable to going to play a double-A game or even a high-A game.
Maybe better in some cases. Pulled to third, a couple of hops for Willis. And it's bobbled at first base by Taki. A little bit of a low throw, and Jaden Davis is safe. Maybe that's the crack that the Commodores need to get something going. It'll be an error. We'll see if they go with Willis at third. Willis committed an error in last night's game. Or Taki, who's been very sure-handed. But I think that ball hit the turf.
Yeah, this is going to be on the throw. Almost lands at the back feet of Taki. Seemed like Dawson was just a little bit lackadaisical with that throw. Had plenty of time. I like to see guys throw guys out by 10 steps.
So second error in as many games down at third for Willis. Mac Rose, the batter. He has the lone Commodores hit. A leadoff single into left field back in the third. 0-1 pitch is in there for a called strike. Right back to business for Kyson Witherspoon. Mac Rose is a guy who was a fortunate pickup at the end of the summer. Tim Corbin said, getting him out of McLennan Community College, where, as we said, he was coached by Tyler Johnson, Skip Johnson's son. But out of Rockwall, Texas, really a pros approach. He's gotten into working deep into counts, and Commodores really like what he's provided. Left-handed batting catcher. 1-2 the count. Oklahoma with 11 runs in this game. 2 3-run home runs. One by Carmichael, one by Willis. And count will stay 1-2 on Rose. Looked at some of those scores around the SEC. Texas suffering just its second loss in conference play, 12-2. Arkansas 12-1 in league play entering the day. They got 7 runs in the top of the 9th inning and beat Georgia handily. And that was a 6-3 ball game until the top of the 9th. And the Razorbacks blew that game open, winning 13-3. Mentioned that Auburn and LSU in a good one. We look at the full standings, and these two teams right there, along with Alabama and Auburn, either tied or separated by 1 game. That'll be so much fun to watch this league. And as you said, you get no breaks.
Oh, with Texas A&M kind of figuring things out, you very well could see 14 teams go from the SEC.
You could. I mean, you've got Florida was a top 25 ball club until they got into conference play. And they've taken their lumps, but still an RPI that if they can put some things together, they could still get in. That one hits the back foot, but he went around. Did it hit him? It's a strikeout one way or the other. But the reaction of the hitter indicated he might have gotten hit by that pitch. Let's look.
It's going to be a slider. Never a strike. Doesn't. He's just trying to hold up right there. About halfway there, it's like, oh, this isn't a strike. I got to pull back. His body didn't want to go.
So Rose strikes out. Second strikeout of the inning, and the 5th in the game for Kyson Witherspoon. They'll face Holcomb now. Jaden Davis is safe at first on an Oklahoma error. 1-1 the count. We're talking about the SEC. How about Hunter Hines of Mississippi State, 65th career homer coming last night, passing Will Clark for second all-time in Mississippi State history. Only Rafael Palmeiro has more home runs.
Some big names on that list,
man. No doubt. There's a strike. That pitch right there. And Kyson Weatherspoon, you got 96 miles an hour, and you can throw that.
Then he has a true breaking ball more over the top at 77. When you throw different shapes of breaking balls and then pump 96, 97, it's a blur.
Holcomb got a piece of that one. Tough play here. Taki, nice shovel to Witherspoon, who lunges to the bag just in time. Kyson Witherspoon fielding his position. Taki able to flip it to him. No hits and a man left for the Commodores in the 5th. 11-0 Sooners. It is 11-0 Oklahoma, and the Sooners come to the plate in the bottom of the 5th inning with this advantage. Trying to make it 2 wins in 2 days against Vanderbilt, and the man who was the winning pitcher for the Sooners last night, Kate Crossland, the junior left-hander, is going to join us for a little bit here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Kate, thanks for joining us. Take us through last night. What was so effective? What went so well for you last night?
I was just trying to stay focused on every pitch, not get carried away in the moment, but all my pitches were working. Tested out a new slider for the first time that kind of worked, so I just kept throwing it, but everything was good.
Take the people at home what that's like, testing out a new pitch and just not knowing what it's going to do in game.
I mean, I had no idea. I threw it one time to one batter, and then he just kept calling it, so I kept throwing it. Didn't really question it, but I mean, it was successful.
So how long have you been working on that pitch leading up to debuting it last night?
Since Wednesday, maybe.
You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding.
So it was 2 days and then turn it loose on Friday night in the SEC.
Yeah, I just threw it in the bullpen Wednesday and that's it.
That's incredible, man. What's a big lead like this do for your psyche as a starting pitcher?
I mean, you can't really change much because you still got to stay focused, win innings, get outs. But it really, it's less pressure on your shoulders. But I mean, it's fun. It makes it fun.
Take us through your journey to the University of Oklahoma. It was not immediately to Norman coming out of high school. How did you arrive at this spot?
I mean, I went Division II out of high school freshman year at Ouachita Baptist, and then just kind of decided to try it out, see what I can do with the left arm, and went JUCO last year, and it just kind of took off from there. So ended up here. That's how we are.
We see Trey Gamble being hit by a pitch as he goes down to first base to lead off this 5th inning. What would you say has been the key to this rapid ascension to go, as you said, from not much known about you to the big stage of the SEC? What's been critical for you?
Just kind of building confidence over the years. It's I mean, just getting comfortable with what I can do, just not trying to do too much.
How close have you become with Malachi and Kyson Witherspoon, and what maybe have you learned from their ability to put in the work?
I mean, I'd say I'm close enough now. I mean, they call me the triplet, so. But I mean, they've really taught me how to just breathe. Kyson's really good at it. Malachi's good at it, and just kind of teaching me how to be consistent with breaths and just not get out of, let my head get in the way, you know.
Did they come up with the triplet, or did you?
I don't even remember who said it first. I think our trainer did, and then they just stuck with it.
That's awesome, man.
Houston Carmichael rolls out to the second baseman, Rustin Rigdon. We were visiting with last night's winning pitcher, Kate Crossland, the junior from Rockwall, Texas. 103 pitches last night. Did you have more gas in the tank if you need? There's Jason Walt. Now, he helped you out. He helped everybody out last night by getting that big triple, and then he made an incredible play late in the game. I think you were out of the game when he made that catch in center field, weren't you?
Yeah, I was out, but that was fun to watch too.
The defense was really good in high-pressure situations. Jay Will going up the middle to get R.J. Austin, man. Like, how is this dugout vibe right now? It's been kind of a rust patch. What did y'all do to keep your minds level and figure this out?
I mean, we were just trying too hard to win. You know, when you don't try and just have fun, things work out for you, and that's kind of what we're doing now.
Were you a part of last night's interview with Jason Walk, where they were putting all kinds of snacks in his box? As this one is rocketed out into right field by Willits. In to score will come Trey Gamble.
No, I was not part of that.
Okay.
But, you know, that was funny. That was funny to watch.
Applesauce down the back.
Yeah, that was an interesting touch. Very interesting touch. Kate, we'll let you get back to it with your teammates. Congratulations on the win last night.
Thank you.
That is Kate Crossland's last night's winning pitcher for Oklahoma as Jackson Willits comes through with his first hit of the game. Kate Crossland, very effective. You get that Friday night win. That is critical in the SEC. It's critical in any league, Blake.
And especially to come back out and put 12 up in the next game and just make a statement. The Sooners have really got it rolling right now. I liked his comment on trying too hard. Skip's really big on that. You try too hard that you fail. You really got to treat this like a game because it is. You got to find a way to play like you played as a kid, not a care in the world, and just go out there and let it be what it is.
So Jackson Willits with the RBI single. That's his first run driven in this afternoon. Here's Dayton Taki. He had an RBI ground out as part of Oklahoma's 7-run fourth inning. Sooners now 12 runs on 8 hits. Two doubles, 2 home runs for the Sooners today. They've taken advantage of 5 walks and 4 hit batsmen. That's 9 free base runners that the Commodores have allowed the Sooners in this one. Two balls and 2 strikes now to Dayton Taki. Taki, in addition to the RBI ground out, has popped up and struck out. Had 3 hits in last night's Oklahoma win.
Thought his approach to the plate last night was very well. He had a 2-strike hit through the 4-hole that really kind of solidified it for me. Seeing the ball well.
That is a 1-out walk to Dayton Taki. It is the 6th walk issued by Vanderbilt pitching today. It'll bring in Sam Christensen. In case you are wondering, yes, there is a run rule in effect in all games involving SEC teams. There is a run rule of 10 runs after 7 innings. Now, we're still in the 5th. We've got a ways to go. But it looks like the Commodores are going to the bullpen, and England Bryan will have the ball taken from him here by Commodores head coach Tim Corbin. So the 4th Vanderbilt pitcher of the day comes on when we come back. Left-hander Ethan McIlvain is the 4th pitcher utilized by the Commodores today. 6'4", 238-pound sophomore out of Thompson Station, Tennessee. He was a starter the first 5 weeks, but they now bring him out of the bullpen, Blake.
That Commodore bullpen sounds like an offensive line, doesn't it? On the year, he's got a 9.18 ERA, 1-2 record. 9th appearance, 16 2/3 innings, 21 hits, 30 strikeouts to 20 walks.
11 appearances last season. He pitched for Team USA over the summer. His brother Chris, you know, is former Commodore, drafted by the Cincinnati Reds. Another very talented arm when he puts it all together. So we've seen Cody Bowker, Brennan Cyber, England Bryan, and now the 4th pitcher is Ethan McIlvain. Commodores used 4 pitchers last night. J.D. Thompson was the starting pitcher. Luke Guth, Miller Green, Tristan Bristow, and Matthew Shorey. So this is 9 pitchers in 2 games so far for Vanderbilt. Sam Christensen has struck out, walked, been hit by pitch, and scored 2 Oklahoma runs today. Two and out quickly. 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Those shadows creeping in. It's almost 6 o'clock here. Tough for hitters to see as the ball will change from light to dark coming towards the plate.
You get a good look at it. The roof of Eldell Mitchell Park creates this shadow. Bases are loaded. That's ball 4. Man, that was a close pitch. So it is a single by Willits. You've had the walk to Taki and now the walk to Christensen. That is 7 walks and 4 hit batsmen for Vanderbilt pitching today. And the third time Christensen has drawn a free pass. He's walked twice and been hit by a pitch. Kyle Branch walked in the third, safe on an error in the fourth. He has scored a run. He's also struck out. And he's got a bases loaded 1-out situation here.
.96 from the left side.
Pretty good.
Like it's coming from the Eiffel Tower too.
Bounces up there to Mac Rose, the catcher. Cal Branch was the MVP of the Round Rock Invitational that Oklahoma went to in non-conference play. They picked up 2 top 7 wins. They beat number 7 Oregon State and then number 2 Virginia in 12 innings. That's when you began to know that this Oklahoma team could be very good. They started the season 11-0, their best start since 2011. This one sliced foul and out of play. Of course, you jump into SEC play and you're going to take a few bumps and bruises. But a win today would get the Sooners back to 500 in SEC play and would drop the Commodores to 500. They'd both be 7-7 if this score holds up, or if this result holds up, I should say. Slow roller to third. Johnston will tag the runner going down the line and will not get Branch at first base. Willits comes in to score to make it 13-0. And the tag applied on Taki, the runner going down the line. We're going to have an appeal.
Vanderbilt is challenging the call on the field at first base of safe. This is their first challenge.
It's a heads-up play by Brody Johnson at third base, tagging the lead runner. Flips his hips and makes a strike over to first base. I think there's a chance Branch might be out.
Yeah, I thought so with my first glance that it looked like they got him.
Get a slow man from our team. Yeah, by half a step. See the ball come into the glove here. Contact with the glove. See if we can get a stop. Looks like we have it.
Hey, after review, the runner at first base is out.
So it is indeed a double play for the Commodores who get out of the inning. And the run will not count for the Sooners. So it remains 12-0. Oklahoma gets another run. And it's 12-0 Sooners headed to the 6th. It has been all Oklahoma through 5 innings today, and they got it done early. This was in the first inning. The big blast there from Easton Carmichael, a 3-run home run. 3-0 Sooners. Then it was Dawson Willis with another 3-run home run. This was in the bottom of the 4th, 11-0 at that point. And Jackson Willits driving in another run, bottom of the 5th. A 12-0 Oklahoma lead. And Kyson Witherspoon has given just 1 hit to the Commodores so far.
They can find a way to get him to the 7th and get this win. He's at 63 pitches right now, still averaging about 10 an inning.
You see the Sooners batting .500 with men in scoring position today. Rustin Rigdon takes a strike. He grounded out to second baseman Kyle Branch his first time.
And only 1 stolen base. So they're creating offense kind of away from their general plan. They're normally a team that likes to manufacture runs. Today it's been the power, and that's what Eldale will do to you on a warm spring day. We got 80 degrees. It's blowing out 25 to left. Just elevate, celebrate.
Elevate and celebrate. Is that yours? Did you come up with that?
Nah, it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
I think Rich Hills was saying that when he was playing.
Downstairs, and 2 balls, 2 strikes here. Top of the lineup will roll around for the Commodores for the 3rd time. It's been an efficient outing, though, for Kyson Witherspoon. He's pitched around the air, given up just 1 hit. No walks. Three and 2. Series finale between these teams will be at 2 o'clock tomorrow. It's Central Time. Foul ball. We mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Blake, Oklahoma getting a series opening win last night, knowing that you've got Kyson Witherspoon on the mound. I mean, that is, I know you still have to go out and you have to knock the ball around. You still have to make the plays. But what a shot in the arm, confidence-wise, it was coming into the day, knowing that they already had a game in tow.
Absolutely. It makes Friday night that much more important, right? Especially with Cade Crossland being able to do what he did. That's some big shoes to fill on that Friday night. But he did what he was capable of doing, was just himself. Pounded the zone, kept guys off balance, and just throws sliders whenever he wants, I guess. Learning the pitch on Wednesday and bringing it out on Friday night.
There's Cade Crossland, with whom we visited a little earlier. He said the Witherspoons have taken him in as the 3rd member of the triplets. It's pretty good company. Jacob Humphrey, the top of the order, trying to get a little spark for Vanderbilt. You know baseball is so different from one day to the next, but it feels like the Commodores need a little confidence to carry with them overnight in the final few innings. Maybe see if they can get 3 runs to get the run rule taken off and get a few more innings to try to bang out a little confidence, Blake.
Hey, and a windy day at Eldale, 12 runs is nothing. I mean, this could very change in a heartbeat. You just need one guy on, a bloop and a blast to get some confidence, and then just keeps rolling from there.
Jacob Humphrey's 0 for 2. He's popped up and grounded out so far against Witherspoon. Really crouched down low, carrying a 6-game hitting streak after hitting a home run in last night's game. Transfer from UMass Lowell. Been really good with Jason King, the new hitting coach at Vanderbilt. Maybe worked on a couple of things before the season started. And he's batted .324 to this point. Hard ground ball to Willis. Throw is on target this time, and that's out number 2.
It's a good swing right there by Humphrey. Backspin ground ball. Hard hit. Just right at the 3rd baseman, Dawson Willis.
Here's Riley Nelson, the first baseman, 0 for 2. He has flied to center and grounded to first base today. 3rd stop on the collegiate journey for Riley Nelson. He's out of Trophy Club, Texas. Nelson started his career at Western Texas College and then Yavapai College out in Arizona. There's the fan support for him. Yavapai out there in Arizona, where he batted .412 with 13 home runs a season ago. And he's hitting .333 in his first season as a Commodore. Big series in that sweep of Florida last weekend. Had 5 hits in 3 games. 2 balls and a strike now. Casson Witherspoon has faced just 2 over the minimum so far. Pitching into the 6th. In pursuit of his 6th win of the year. That'll roll the count to 2-2 against Riley Nelson.
Good battle going right here. Got his swing off. Still on time with that. Fouled it straight back.
Oklahoma shifting defensively. They bring shortstop Jackson Willits over to the first base side of the infield, and the lone defender on the third base side is Willis, and this is hit into the shift. It ricochets off of Branch. That was a rocket on a hop by Nelson, who is safe at first base to extend the 6th inning.
Really good at bat by Riley Nelson. Get another look at it here. Gets a fastball in on top and on time. Kind of a top spin ground ball. Just 8 Branch up out there in shallow right.
Have not seen that play scored yet. Which way are you going? It's a hit. It's ruled a hit.
That's a tough one to call. They might go back and change that.
For now, the 2nd hit for the Commodores, and R.J. Austin will get a crack. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly ball to center field. Coached by Marquise Grissom in his youth. That gets your attention, Blake Brewster. You hear Marquise Grissom. That brings back good old days. No?
Remind me who that is.
Atlanta Braves. Very good long-time big league.
Goodness gracious. I should know that.
Maybe that's just showing my age and not your youth. We'll go with that. How about that?
Okay, I'm here for it.
Low and away, and now 2-1. 81 pitches for Kyson Witherspoon. Popped up. Wind is going to hold this one up. Taki. Ball's going to be blown all the way into fair territory, where Dayton Taki puts it away for the final out. A hit and a man left for the Commodores. Sooners lead 12-0. Headed to the bottom of 6 on SEC Network Plus. Attendance over 5,000 at L. Mitchell Park for game number 2 of this 3-game set between Oklahoma and Vanderbilt. Sooners won it 9-4 last night. Lead 12-0 today, so they've outscored the Commodores 21-4 in the 2 games so far. And they've pounded out 22 hits, 2 home runs in this game. And one of the hitting stars, Desan Harris, stands in. He's 3 for 3 with 3 runs driven in. To left field, Holcomb backtracking to the warning track to pull it in.
Just 4 really good at ABs for Desan Harris today. That ball is struck to left field. Seeing it well, coming in like a beach ball.
Here's Dawson Willis, who hit a 3-run home run in the 7-run Oklahoma 4th inning. Sooners sent 10 batters to the plate in that inning, but they only had 2 hits. It was a single by Harris that scored a run, and then the 3-run home run by Dawson Willis. Things really came apart for the Commodores. 2 walks, 2 hit batsmen, an error. But Oklahoma made Vanderbilt pay as well with the 3-run blast by Willis. Check swing, foul ball, and it's 2-1. 3 balls and a strike. McIlvain in danger of a walk, which would be the 8th issued by the Commodores today. Full count here to the Sooner third baseman.
Good pitch there, 95 on the black. See if that gets him in rhythm.
It does not. Instead, another free pass issued to the Sooners. And Oklahoma going to go to the bench here, it looks like, and get Scott Mudler an at-bat. Left-hand batting catcher. He came with the Witherspoon twins from Northwest Florida State College before last year.
From Johns Creek, Georgia, 6'2", 213. This is a guy that the Sooners really need to have back in the lineup. Give Easton Carmichael a break behind the plate. Let him DH a little bit. Keep his legs underneath him.
First time Mudler's appeared in a game since the Mississippi State Series back on March the 22nd. Had some big moments. He homered against Oregon State, one of the back-to-back top 10 wins that the Sooners had down in Round Rock.
250 on the year, 9 RBIs and a home run. Has a triple too, Chad.
(3-0) though. So McIlvain was able to get that first out with Harris flying to left, but he's had a real challenge finding the strike zone here. Hard hit ground ball. Sliding is Rigdon. The throw to first is in time. And Mudler is retired for the second out. Nicely done by Rustin Rigdon.
Yeah, really athletic play. Thought this might have been a hit. Had a chance off the bat. We'll take another look at it here. Rustin Rigdon, see him get a ready hop. Goes to his knees. This is not easy, folks. Throws from one knee. Your dad pitching to you in the backyard. How about that?
Rigdon's played 2 different positions in this series. He's done it well. And here's Trey Gamble. Gamble doubled and scored in the first, walked and scored in the fourth, and was hit by a pitch and scored in the fifth. Two and 0 to Trey Gamble. .94 miles an hour on the inner half.
McIlvain does a nice job getting to that arm side with a fastball. 95. A black to a lefty.
Of the 12 runs in this game, Blake, I was just going to say, of the 12 runs in this game, 7 have been scored by batters who either reached on a walk, a hit by pitch, or an error for Oklahoma. And speaking of hit by pitch, that's the the 5th one of this game by the Commodores. It's the 2nd time Gamble's been hit by pitch, and the 3rd time he's gotten a free pass. He also walked in the 4th.
Yeah, you take those away, it's a 5-0 game right now, and you got a chance to be in it. This fastball, just a breaking ball that didn't come down. Just kind of let it slide out of the hand at release. Catching Gamble in the right arm.
Easton Carmichael set to come to the plate.
Challenging the hit by pitch.
And we've got
a
a challenge on the hit by pitch. And this isn't going to take long, and Vanderbilt will be out of challenges.
I believe he has to attempt to get out of the way.
And for that reason, it may get overturned.
Because he did not move. another look at it here. I think he has to make an attempt. I think he does. He tries to turn in. He's trying not to lean into it. I think that turn in will keep this to stand.
After review, the batter was hit by pitch and is awarded first base. Vanderbilt has one challenge remaining.
Give me a black shirt and an earpiece. Let me get down there.
We like you much better up here. Trust me, this job's way easier. So that is the first challenge by the Commodores, and it is wiped away. They have one remaining. As you heard our third base umpire Eddie Newsom inform us. And Easton Carmichael, who blasted a 3-run home run in the first inning, will bat for the 5th time today. He's also walked and scored a run. So 3 driven in and 2 scored for Carmichael today. The home run was his 7th. He's now driven in 33, which is tops on this Oklahoma club. Hit pretty well to center field. Austin races back into the deepest part of the park and can't come up with it. Willis scores. Gamble is right behind him, and Carmichael stops at third. It's 14-0 Oklahoma.
Thought R.J. Austin does a nice job of getting this ball. That wall creeping up on him. Get another look at the swing here. Hanging slider. You can't hang it there. Easton Carmichael will get all over it just like that. Watch this route by R.J. Austin. Feels like he's there in time, but that wall creeping up on him makes that a tough play there in the corner. Feel like you're running forever and run out of room.
So a 5 RBI day for catcher Easton Carmichael. He's got a home run and he's got a triple in this game. And the Sooners lead it 14-0. 2 down. And here's Jackson Willits. Willits has been on 3 times. He's walked. He's been hit by pitch. And he had an RBI single his last time up in the 5th. Willits stays alive. Easton Carmichael's 3rd triple, and now 35 runs batted in for the Sooner catchers. He stands at 3rd. Pretty good pitch there. McIlvain. A lot of double-digit run totals around the SEC this weekend. Mississippi State scored 13, Arkansas 13 yesterday, Texas A&M 17, Florida scored 11 on Thursday. And Oklahoma's got 14 today. They scored 9 last night. Run rule is in effect, so the Commodores will have to get, at this point, at least 5. That's if Oklahoma doesn't get any more here in the 6th. This game will end after 7 on run rule. Ball 4 to Willits, misses a little bit outside. So it's 2 more walks and a hit by pitch in the inning. And again, 9 of the 14 runs that Oklahoma has scored have been scored by a guy who was either walked, hit by pitch, or was safe on an error. And here's Dayton Taki. He walked back in the 5th. It's the 3rd time Willits has gotten a free pass, either walk or hit by pitch. One and 1 to Dayton Taki. Taki drove in a run with a ground out back in the 4th. That'll roll it to 1 and 2. Well, there's some velocity coming out of the Vanderbilt bullpen. Hasn't always been accurate, but we're talking 94, 95 miles an hour from everybody that the Commodores have sent out there today. Oklahoma has needed only Kyson Witherspoon, who's given just 2 hits through his 6 innings on the mound today.
He has been magnificent, man. I think you got to set him out here in the 7th. Let him finish it up. Close to 80 pitches.
There's strike 3 called, and the inning is over. But Oklahoma with 2 more on a 2-run triple by Easton Carmichael, who's driven in 5. And Oklahoma can close out the run rule next when we go to the top of the 7th. On track for his 6th win of the year, Kyson Witherspoon has been his typical excellent self for Oklahoma. Blake today, Witherspoon 6 innings of 2-hit ball, no runs, 5 strikeouts, and no walks.
He's been commanding the zone with conviction, right? Fastball, slider. You'll see a back foot there on the left-handed hitter. Really good pitch. It's been effective.
And you see pitches by inning. You know, the 3rd, he gave up the leadoff base hit. And the 5th, there was an error. And that's been it. 3 base runners for the Commodores, 2 hits and an error. And a pinch hitter, Chris Maldonado, will get a plate appearance. Junior from Short Hills, New Jersey. Led Vanderbilt in hitting back in 2023 and missed the majority of 2024 with an injury. And he's a legacy guy. His brother Nick played baseball for the Commodores. He's batting for Brody Johnston in the cleanup spot. Johnston had been 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Oklahoma with the chance to put this game away by run rule. 10 after 7 is the run rule. It's in all SEC games. Non-conference games involving SEC teams as well. These 2 teams will play again at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Oklahoma, it appears, will be going for the sweep. Time called.
He's by Maldonado there.
No violation one way or the other. And Kyson Witherspoon's 0-2. Grazed him. Wow. An 0-2 pitch. And Maldonado gets hit. Looks like another pinch hitter will come to the plate. Jonathan Vastine, the shortstop, the scheduled hitter. Instead, it'll be Riker Waite, a freshman from Queen Creek, Arizona, Queen Creek High School.
Hitless in just 2 at-bats on this year. Got an RBI.
Vastine had been 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts against Witherspoon, who deals 96 miles an hour. Still plenty of velocity left. 86 pitches for the Sooner right-hander. There goes Maldonado, and they'll let him steal second base.
How about coming off the bench for your 3rd at-bat on the year and seeing Kyson Witherspoon pumping 97?
Slow roller. Branch will pick it up and double clutched it. Everybody's safe. And the Commodores putting a little something together. Runners at 1st and 3rd and nobody out. That'll probably be the 2nd Sooner error of this game.
It's a tough play. Slow roller. Kind of fields it off his right foot. He's unable to pick it up and get a clean transfer. Kind of bobbled it in there. Tough play.
Another pinch hitter here for the Commodores. So 2 pinch hitters have both reached safely against one of the best pitchers in the country. And David Mendez, a sophomore. .511, 184. Witherspoon misses with ball 1.
Hit 250 on the year. 2 for 8. brought in 4 runs on a home run.
Witherspoon, fastball on the inner half. 1-1 the count to Mendez. He's batting for Jaden Davis, who had been 0 for 2 in this game. Commodores need 5 runs to take off the run rule. There goes Waite. The throw to second base will not be in time. So a couple of stolen bases. They're going to send him back.
I think we had batter interference.
We did. So the hitter is out. Mendez called out for batter's interference by the plate umpire Joseph Smith, and they'll send Waite back to first base. 1 away in the inning.
And Mendez took a healthy hack there. His momentum took him towards the left-hander batter's box. We get another look at it here. Kind of a slider. You see his momentum take him towards the plate. Connection with Easton Carmichael.
When's the last time you saw hitter's interference?
It used to happen all the time before
Yeah.
they implemented it. I think I was playing still. That was a new rule back in 2017. Don't quote me on that.
Mac Rose will get the at bat here. He's 1 for 2. Had one of the 2 Commodores hits, a base hit back in the 3rd. Rifle foul out of play, and it's 0-2.
Couple good at bats for Mac Rose today.
Yeah, you just take a little something away, don't you? Whatever positivity you can. Swing and a miss. Runner on the move, and the throw is not in time to second base. So Riker Waite steals second, but the Commodores are down to their final out. Kyson Witherspoon with his 6th strikeout of the day.
Got another pitch hitter.
Will indeed. The Commodores will send J.D. Rogers, a reserve outfielder senior from Carmel, Indiana, to the plate with 2 down.
176 on the year, 3 hits and 17 at bats.
.95 pitches now for Witherspoon. Oklahoma got a 3-run home run from Easton Carmichael in the bottom of the 1st. Dawson Willis with a 3-run home run in the 4th. And Carmichael a 2-run triple in the bottom of the 6th inning. And as we said, 9 of Oklahoma's 14 runs have scored from a batter who was either walked or hit by a pitch, or was safe on an error. In other words, a free pass. And the Sooners have taken full advantage. 1-1 here to J.D. Rogers. Rocket picked up by Willis. And Oklahoma has taken the series from Vanderbilt. Sooners won 9-4 last night. And a 7-inning complete game shutout for Kyson Witherspoon. It is Oklahoma's first run rule victory in SEC play. And both the Sooners and Commodores are 7-7 in league play. They'll play the series finale tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. But Oklahoma's offense has been the story through the first 2 games. Blake Brewster, they've scored 23 runs on 22 hits.
It's been the timely hitting for them, right? Couple of advantage opportunities against LSU last weekend. It seems like the timely hits are falling this time. Guys are taking good at bats and getting in advantage counts and doing damage.
It's a 3-hit day for Desan Harris. 5 runs batted in for Easton Carmichael. Dawson Willis also homers. There's Willis. He cracked a 3-run blast. Oklahoma 14 runs on 9 hits, 2 errors. They also left 9 men stranded today. And for Vanderbilt, no runs, 2 hits, 2 errors. They left 5 men on base in this game. Kyson Witherspoon, just effective. You know, he just took care of his business.